We're going to start off with a really basic ingredient, just some 80-cent taco tortillas that I cut up into strips, spread them out on your baking sheet, and give it a generous drizzle of olive oil. We're going to use a lot because we want them to get really crispy in the oven, and then a generous sprinkling of sea salt. Bake at 375, 30 minutes. Every great soup starts with a really good base. So our base today is going to be some fire roasted tomatoes, shredded chicken, a little bit of onions, black beans, corn, roasted red peppers, and my favorite ingredient, diced green chilies. And of course we have those crunchy tortilla chips that are just so salty, and my only rule is that you have to have a big handful of those to hold you over while you're making this recipe. So we're going to start off with some big swirls of olive oil in a pan, and then I'm just going to add in my onions, and then we'll add in our diced green chilies. And when we get those guys in there, you just want to saute them for about 2 minutes until they get fragrant. You're not getting them crispy, you're just bringing out the flavor in the base of that soup stock. Now I know the traditional way to make a tortilla soup, the way I usually make it, is taking like a nice ancho chili. It has a little bit of a raisiny sweet flavor, and reconstitute that up in some chicken broth, puree it in a blender, but my blender broke. So this was kind of my backup pantry recipe, and it turned out to be really delicious. To that, we're going to add in our fire roasted tomatoes. We're just going to start to add in all of our ingredients here. So we have our roasted red peppers right on top of that. Just stir as you go along the way, and we'll add some salt and pepper at the end, of course. Once those flavors combine, then we can go ahead and add in our chicken stock. I'm using about 4 cups here, and I do suggest that you get an unsalted one, because if you add more salt at the end and top it off with cheese, you also have the tortilla chips too, so you're already getting enough salt. There's no need in buying a chicken stock that's loaded with salt and extra junk. So let's add in the rest of our ingredients. I have my black beans that I rinsed here, and my corn. You can add in rice if you'd like, but again, use what you have. I didn't have any rice in, so I'm not using it. And some shredded rotisserie chicken. Give it a stir, then we'll let it simmer for about 30 minutes. If you guys can tell, I'm having a really hard time talking through this because I have a cold, and I made this because it's the perfect cold remedy. You get the mix of that citrus with all of the spices, and if you notice, because I have all those diced green chilies, I didn't even add a chili powder, but again, you know, a nice ancho chili powder would be really good, or whatever your favorite chili powder is if you want to pump up the flavor even more. I'm going to add in my tortilla chips. You can put them on the bottom and then put the soup on top, but I like to keep them crispy, so I use them as a little topper at the end. I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe, and let me know what you think.